They said it was just a legend, a ritual buried in time, forgotten by all but whispered by the wind. But when the moon turned red, the villagers gathered once more, and what was meant to be a simple offering became something alive, because this time the sacrifice did not stay dead. They said the ritual was older than the village itself. No one remembered when it began, only that it had to be done once every 20 years. When the moon turned red and the river stopped whispering, one bone, they said, just one human bone, must be offered, or the earth would take what it wanted instead. Tonight, the air felt wrong, heavy. Still, the villagers gathered in a circle around the altar carved from black stone, its surface slick with centuries of offerings. Old prayers trembled from their lips, words no one fully understood anymore. They were not praying to something good. At the center stood Emily, chosen by the elders. His hands shook as he held the bone wrapped in red cloth. It was not just any bone, it was his mother's. She had been the last offering. They told him the bloodline must continue to depth. He had no choice. The wind shifted, carrying a smell of damp earth and decay. Shadows bent unnaturally along the trees. The flame from the torches flickered through. No breeze touched them. The elder raised her rambling hand and whispered that the offering must begin. Emily stepped forward, his breath trembling in the cold air. When he unwrapped the bone, the cloth stuck to it as if the marrow still wept. The ground beneath the altar pulsed once, slow, deep like a heartbeat. A faint whisper crawled through the silence, echoing his name, not from the crowd from below. Emily froze. The villagers lowered their heads. The elder urged him to continue, her voice shaking, but he could not move. The whisper became clearer, louder. It was not one voice, it was many, calling from beneath the soil, chanting his name in rhythm with the pulsing earth. The altar cracked, a soundless shiver ran through the trees. The moon turned darker, redder. Emily fell to his knees, clutching the bone as the whispers began to laugh, not joyfully, mockingly. The bone grew heavier in his hands. It was warm now, breathing. The elder screamed for him to finish the offering, but before he could, the bone twisted in his grip and splintered open, revealing something wet and alive inside, something that blinked. The ground split beneath the altar, and a hand, not of flesh but of black ash, rose from the earth. It reached for Emily, wrapping around his chest. He screamed as it pulled him down, his body sinking into the soil as if it were water. The villagers backed away, but their feet rooted to the ground. They could not move. The ritual had begun without their will. When the crack sealed, silence returned. The altar was whole again. Only the red cloth remained, folded neatly where Emily had stood. No one spoke. The elder stared at the altar, her face pale, her eyes hollow. She whispered the words every villager knew too well. The earth has chosen. From that night on, the soil beneath the village stayed warm. Sometimes at midnight, people swore they could hear faint knocking beneath the ground, like someone still trying to climb out.